for tuning in to Lucky Lotus FM Podcast.
Episode 10.
Episode 10, double digits.
There we go. My name's Brajesh.
I'm Jimmy.
And this is Lucky Lotus FM Podcast.
Lucky Lotus FM Podcast.
Lucky Lotus FM Podcast.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Ring that bell on YouTube.
YouTube, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Give the listeners at home your best monster truck voice, like you're announcing a monster truck rally.
Here we go. We got monster truck number 1 coming in. That's a really bad voice.
Are you sure it shouldn't sound like Sunday?
That sounds
Monster truck rally is Sunday. Tickets are $20, but you only need half of one because you're going to be on the edge of your seat the entire time.
He is so talented in everything he does.
Grave digger. That's like a really popular.
Have you ever gone to a
truck.
monster? I've gone to a monster truck.
I have gone to monster truck
They're
rallies.
awesome. They're awesome.
I went with my mom, who, shout out to my mom from the last podcast. I went with my mom one time.
Recurring character.
I fell asleep at a monster truck rally.
How do you manage that?
I was little and I had sensory deprivation headphones on, so it was very plausible.
Were you 9 in the scenario?
Funny story, actually, after that, I also have fallen asleep during a tornado, and my brother goes, but he's still upstairs, and my mom goes, it's too late. and my whole family went to go shelter while I was upstairs.
What a horrible thing.
They looked at me like I was the spare, like Prince Edward with King Henry.
Too late, dude.
And my mom goes, too late.
I bet your brother told you that story.
I'm a survivor.
You're a survivor. Look at
home.
your brother's. No, you're here, not your brother. So there we go.
Hey, shout out.
Shout out.
I don't know where he is, but he's still my brother.
Shout out to your mom, too.
Yeah, I asked my brother, I said, hey, are you listening to the podcast? He says, no, I haven't listened to a single episode. Thank you.
Same, my brother doesn't either. Every time I bring it up, he rolls his eyes. Dude, like, stop already subscribed. Please leave me alone.
I think we just post something and say they've won like a new PS5 and to message us to claim it. And be like, oh, sorry, wrong person.
So it's going to be, so it'll be our PS5 in the
Yeah,
end.
exactly. We'll say, hey, we got a bunch of PS5s fell off the back of a truck.
You know what? Our 1,000 subscriber, if we, we have to talk about that.
We are not getting our 1,000th subscriber at PS5. I will never financially recover. Joe Exotic.
No, there was a actual a positive critique in one of our videos on YouTube. Shout out, we're at almost 200,000 views now. But someone said instead of doing the 1,000th subscriber, we should do a lottery between the 1,000.
Yeah, we will do that. That is a good idea. We're gonna do that.
Yeah, and
shout out, Llama 24265XC.
It's not. But hey,
you were like, how does he know the subscribers?
Because I told him I'll shout you out, and I don't even remember this guy's name.
Hey, shout out.
You know who I'm talking to? I'll put you in the title.
Yeah,
there we go.
Tag him in it. He'll be like, "Oh my god, guys!"
He did a podcast. He did. It was so sweet. He was like, "Okay, wow, you actually responded. I'll follow."
All right, there we go.
So he followed us, and he could be our 1,000th subscriber. We can fly him out, buy him a PS5, take him to Matt's Pro Shop.
Hey, yo, let me fly you out. We're Mr. Fly You Out podcast, Mr. International, Mr. Worldwide. I hope you tell him that he can be flown out, and he's like, I live in Taipei.
That'd be awesome, dude. Imagine how much would that be? Tickets, if you try to go international, would like $3 grand.
He lives in American Samoa or Tonga. Like he's got to have 6 connecting flights.
It'd be awesome. It'd be worth it.
He's in Port-au-Prince. He's got to come here by ship.
Listen, if we don't fly him out, we're not getting to 10K subscribers. Okay,
let's go.
Yeah, so we're gonna get him out here no matter what. We'll sell a kidney. We'll sell your kidney.
No, we will not. We're not. Do not sign me up for PS5s. Do not sign me up for kidneys. Do not sign me up for
What is this podcast even about?
A little delirious. Been up really late. Been up since 3 a.m. It is now 8
I've
p.m.
offered him this.
No, it's not happening. I'm not drinking your Magnum Red Bull.
What's wrong with my Magnum Red Bull?
I prefer a lifestyle.
There's a little
Red
bit
Bull.
of backwash, but whatever. Yeah, I know.
You like that joke? Do you get it?
I missed it.
He didn't chat. He doesn't get it.
Chat, don't roast me.
I said I prefer a Magnum Red Bull, not a lifestyle Red Bull.
Wow. Okay.
Never. You still don't get it.
I just still don't get it.
Oh my god!
Wait, let me take the hat off. Let more blood flow into my
I will tell you about it after this podcast. So we're going to do a completely different podcast. For those of you tuning in for topics, not happening this week.
Nope.
We're going through the 10 most trending topics we want to talk about.
We want better clips, and we need to increase our reach. Is what we need to do.
Start out with what we were promised in the first 100 days of the Trump presidency. Release the Epstein files.
Something even crazier happened. Virginia Giuffre committed suicide.
Yes, like she hung herself in a Brooklyn jail.
Yeah, and then shot herself with a shotgun too. Yeah, that's it seems
She stabbed herself in the back 6 times and threw herself off the roof. She left a note that says, "Couldn't take any more. Signed, the dead guy." That's from Analyze That or Analyze This with Billy Crystal and Robert De Niro. I'm sure you've never seen that movie. Shout out Chat. Chat's seen it.
On a side note, your movie repertoire is huge. I'm kind of jealous of it.
I used to do
because I have zero understanding of movie or any. I can't have any callbacks. I can't remember anything.
I used to do a bunch of podcasts. I'll read off the names now, but
this is the best one.
The music, yeah, this is the best one for views and for monetary. I've made more money and had more views on this podcast than anything.
Hey, I love you too. I love you too.
Not more streams though. Got to get them streams up. Got to get them subscribers.
We're getting there. We are getting there. But back to Virginia Giuffre or Dufresne or Gouffre?
I don't know. We're never gonna know if it's Ghislaine Maxwell, Ghislaine Maxwell, or Ghislaine Maxwell.
Well, whatever it is, the fancy last name Virginia apparently passed away.
She is the main Prince Andrew accuser for the UK,
and it blows my mind because she was the spearhead of the accused. We're gonna have to throw that away later.
I will throw it away.
But she was spearheading what is it?
What survivors?
Yeah, she was spearheading
all the people that are suing.
All of them that are suing, and
that's that they were groomed.
And it blows my mind. You are so committed. You put yourself out there. You're already exposed to media, and you end up committing suicide. It sounds a little shady. I doubt we'll ever get to the bottom of it.
Very nefarious.
Very nefarious. I mean, Epstein committed suicide in jail on suicide watch when the two jailers apparently took a break for a while and they let in.
Yes, I believe Bill Barr called it the biggest fail of the criminal justice system of all time. And the video deleted itself due to a malfunction.
Yeah, it's not starting to get scary, but it just shows you really can't bring power to, or you can't hold them accountable, whoever the rich are.
Side note, I believe they're shutting down Rikers Island in New York, and they're going to put in 5 smaller jails in each of the boroughs. So they're bringing the jails to you. I'm dead serious. But he was in like a Brooklyn County jail or Manhattan jail, and that's where all that occurred.
But whatever it is, it's very, very unlikely that you fucking commit suicide in jail, dude. On suicide watch.
Very unlikely. That's why they only give you 1 shoelace.
Yeah, and then what was it? After the autopsy, they were like, his neck was strangled. But then they recorrected autopsy. No, it was actually not strangled. I'm sorry. I'm not a good doctor. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm going to mess up this quote, but I believe it's by Dostoevsky for Crime and Punishment, which is you can tell you can tell a lot about society by the way they treat their prisoners. Yeah. So like here, I would not be happy to go to American jail. I would be even less thrilled to go to El Salvadorian jail. If I'm gonna go to jail, it's gonna be in Norway.
Yeah,
little TV, little cot, all the IKEA furniture.
I don't even think they have door cells either.
From the Swedes.
You have a common place. You can do arts, crafts. You actually rehabilitate in jail like you're supposed to. They don't treat you like animals. But our criminals are wild though.
Here you got people being like, 2 years? That's a vacation.
Hardened, dude.
I'll take it.
And they come out jacked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So whatever diet they're
just on that absolute grind or fat like OJ.
Yeah.
But back to Epstein to wrap it up. Very nefarious things happening in the Epstein case. No files released, no names.
Yeah. I'm surprised Virginia committed suicide and not just Lane. That's surprising.
I hear that they move Ghislaine like from cell to cell every 2 days in like a random pattern, so no one knows where she's at, so she cannot be suicided.
Okay, how'd you hear? That's wild.
It was on the news. I can verify it if you want to talk about the next topic.
Okay, big balls.
Big balls from Doge.
Let's not verify it because let's just leave it in there. Let chat verify it.
Chat verify
with big balls. Give me 1 second.
What are you doing over there? Unprepared. He's unprepared, folks. He's the little kid that's running the Doge. Like he's like Elon's right-hand guy that I believe is like 19 or 21. He's somewhere in between there.
So where do you get the name Big Balls?
That's just his moniker. That's his his gamer tag. Where does anyone get a gamer tag these days? That's just his alias.
Okay. What's your thoughts on Doge so far? I know they've.
I will put it to you this way: I do not agree with everything that everyone ever does. Okay.
Yeah.
But if you cannot see that they have done some good, you are being blind. That's what I think.
It's when I heard this crazy stat that for every 600 people in India, there's an NGO. So they have 3.7 million NGOs in India right now.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. And it's like, I understand, okay, if an NGO is actually providing food for people, we should leave that be and let them keep doing what they're doing. But it's kind of ridiculous when you have multiple 600 for every 600 people. There's an NGO
Right.
for
And
anything
so, like,
you want. Yeah.
So like I don't agree that they pulled a bunch of scientific research money for certain things, right?
Yeah.
I don't want that because that's like a bad situation for what's happening right now with the bird flu.
Yeah.
But I also don't believe that it's right that there was a payment system called PAM that's like the government payment system.
Yeah.
And they were sending out payments for years. So like if you were the person that authorizes payments and you died, that payment just kept going out.
Oh, is it like the
And they had no categorization. They had no notes on some of the payments.
yeah, or what's that story? 130-year-old still getting Social Security benefits.
Yeah, I don't know how true that is. I think that's very
Yeah.
clickbait. We like to call that a poo crave in my household because I shared an article with my girlfriend that was supposed to be from Pop Crave News.
Yeah.
And it was from Poo Crave News. It's kind of like NBA Central, where like I shared some like fake account that like just stirs stuff up. And
He's good at that. He lives off.
it was about
he lives off no sleep and stirring shit up.
It was about a Justin Timberlake article that
Yeah.
when he got arrested for that DUI, he tested positive for poppers and HIV prep medication and some other weird drug. And I was like, "Is this true?" And
a Memphis hero.
yeah, and all my doctor friends clown me, and they're like, "They cannot test for poppers."
Yeah. Oh yeah. That must have been a good, fun text to get.
Yeah, but it's kind of like I think there's good in everything. It's just we're all going to see the sensational headlines to divide us, and I feel like as Americans we're closer to each other than we think they are.
It doesn't help that you named it a meme, Doge, that you have 19-year-olds, big balls, and things. It takes away credibility from it. The work he is doing is,
or it gives people that already aren't going to be on your side ammo to be
100%.
pissed off with you.
Yeah, you're already under the umbrella of Trump, and if you already just hate Trump viscerally, or if you have Trump derangement syndrome, it's just, it doesn't matter what Elon does. He was a sweetheart of the left not too many years ago.
Right,
And
exactly.
Now he's
They
alt-right.
just published a clip from 2012 where they were like, "Thank God for Elon" on Stephen Colbert and stuff, and boy, how the tides have turned.
Yeah, now your Teslas are Nazi associated and stuff like that.
But that's the thing about America, right?
Yeah.
Like
It switches on a dime.
Walt Whitman would call us the blades of grass.
Yeah.
We are a field of grass.
Wow, you are
but
really well read.
We're individually our own little blades of grass that have assimilated into this bigger
Beautiful,
patch.
dude. Beautiful.
Chef's kiss. Depends how we can talk about Walt Whitman all day.
Yeah.
I don't think people want to hear that though.
Okay, but now let's get to speedboat in Arizona.
So this speedboat in Arizona flipped doing 200 miles an hour on a popular tourist
Whoa.
lake. If you watch this thing, it's you got to Google Arizona speedboat 200 miles an hour. This thing's got to flip 40, 60 feet in the air. I don't know if you
win.
going 60 miles an hour on a
Yeah.
boat is really sketchy unless you're on a big boat. Like you're chopping the top of the wake and stuff.
No, what I've seen of those professional speed racers on the water, their boats, they're only their engines in the water. Usually their front is already up in the air.
And they flip all the time
So
and die.
You're not even seeing where you're going. You're just, it's so much crazier than NASCAR or any other type of racing. To like, not only do you not know where you're going, you're going a ridiculous amount.
Yes, on a very fragile, like surface in a liquid.
Did these people
and like it being dropped onto water versus being dropped on concrete, I believe per Mythbusters, per my Discovery Channel days, is harder to hit the water than it is for you to hit concrete.
Really?
Yes.
Because it's
because I believe of the surface tension and your buoyancy in the surface area.
He's well read. He's a scientist and he's a shit stirrer.
Yo, shout out chat.
There we go.
We out y'all.
Okay, so
we're just gonna keep peeling through these topics, baby.
Let's get to.
Hopefully, you like the new format. If you do or you don't, sound off in the comments.
Yeah, we're gonna get a really
Lucky Lotus FM
podcast here, coming at you live. Not live, recorded, but still live enough. Soon to be live. Okay, we're going to Woodpecker in Massachusetts. So what's going on there?
We've got a woodpecker that's blowing out the windows.
There's a woodpecker infestation right now.
Yes, right. And I guess they've run out of trees.
Yeah.
So they're literally going up to people's driver's side windows, like they parked in a parking garage in downtown Memphis and just blowing out the windows.
Just coming at after a night at Beale Street and seeing a woodpecker.
Would you even be mad if you found out on security camera that's what it was?
I wouldn't. Yeah, I would be mad. Of course, dude. It's just
at the woodpecker.
I would be mad at the woodpecker.
It's an endangered species.
Well, not really, dude. It's looking for smoke.
No, I'm almost
looking
it's looking for the smoke. You're saying it's endangered itself.
Yeah, it's about to be endangered.
Are you telling me you would kill a woodpecker if given the chance?
If I saw anything damaging my car.
If Burjesh kills a woodpecker in the woods and no one's there to see it, does it make a sound?
Dude, I'd have it on live. I'd be on Instagram.
No, you would not.
Yeah, hunting
that
down
poor
woodpecker.
little woodpecker. I'm pro woodpecker.
I would say, yeah, I'm pro woodpecker too. And I don't know if I could do any damage to it. If a woodpecker can make a hole in a tree, what could it do to my? What could it do to my brain? If it can break windows, I don't want a piece of that.
It's the classic human thing to be like, I cannot believe nature is doing what it's intended to do, which just shows you like. If humans didn't exist for 10 years, everything would go to hell.
Yeah, woodpeckers would infest every car with nests and everything.
Exactly.
Oh, speaking of, one gorilla versus 100 men.
Where do you stand on this?
Okay, so these men have
Are you team 100 men or team gorilla?
Team 100 men.
See, I'm kind of team gorilla. We can go over. Tell me your pros of why 100 men would beat a gorilla, and we're assuming no tools.
Assuming no tools, and these are average men. They're
average men of build and height. So the average man in the world is 5'9". Indian.
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
So 100 me.
So it's 100 Indians.
100 projections.
No, it's gotta be like 10 Indians. 8 Chinese guys.
Oh yeah, it'll represent the world population.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it'll do. Okay, so
3 U.S. guys that are insanely obese.
We send them in first, dude.
All right, let's say it's 100 strong men.
100 strong men. I first of all let me give a little premise here. What I know about gorillas, they're pacifists. They avoid danger. So obviously, if you have 100 people storming a gorilla, we have to agitate the gorilla first. Okay, it's hungry. It's hungry, and its kids are on the other side of the 100 men.
Let's say it's rabid.
It's rabid. Okay, yeah, a rabid gorilla
versus 100 strong men. 100. Let's say it's 100 of the biggest athletic men.
You can't even decide what kind of men are fighting this gorilla.
We're gonna go with the premise that they're the 100 best athletes in the world versus a rabid gorilla.
Okay. First of all, I would not be the first 15. I really think by the 40th man, you could take down this gorilla.
Okay.
I don't even think you need 100.
Here are the arguments of why I think you were wrong that I've seen online, because I was team man.
Yeah.
If you surround the gorilla and you all threw a punch, only about 8 of them could throw a punch, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The gorilla's bones are like 2 times stronger than human bones.
Yeah.
And they're, I believe, 4 to 8 times stronger. I think it's closer to 8 times stronger than an average man.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the logistics here because someone would have to get on top of the gorilla, beat his head or something.
You'd have to. So if you killed the gorilla, you'd have to go for its head.
Yeah, you can't. There's no part of the body you're gonna hurt,
and you can't. You have no tools. That's the assumption. You have no tools.
So we have to sacrifice a man.
Right. Exactly. I'm telling you, that's
die.
The question. Is if you think the men are going to win, how many of them die from the gorilla? It's got to be close to 30, 40.
Yeah, but I still, just the numbers alone, I think it's like
Burjesh's guy 99 in the back being like, yeah, get him. I know you. You're like, oh, we should all grab him.
That's you, dude.
No,
I'll be 98. No. I'll be 98. Burjesh, you got this. Go get him.
I'd be the strategist. I'd be like, here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
You guys should totally execute the plan.
You got this. I'm just thinking, you get to the 99th men. You're a man and you're the only one left. I just don't even know what's running through your mind at that point.
That's the thing. Unless you have a gun or something, even if it's swords, one of you is going to die.
Yeah, and could you use the bones of the dead?
So that's the other question is, would you still bet on that if the first 5 guys that went in there instantly died from the gorilla? Or do you think the other people would cower in fear and
If
run
I'm
away?
Realistic and these are regular men, dude, I see one person die, I'm getting the fuck out of there.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Sorry, I'll bleep that out.
Bleep.
Bleep, bleep. But yeah, dude, if we're being realistic, And it's just we have experienced no war, no real trauma. We see a human being being bludgeoned to death by a beast. Every survival instinct in you is like, get out of there. You have to be, something has to be like psychotically wrong with you.
You'd have to have them all be fight or flight and be fight.
Yeah. And it's like, of course, I mean, you see what humanity is really about.
Let's say you're leading the team of men. What is your strategy?
Leading from the back.
what is your strategy though? You have control over all of them.
I would do we would have to surround a gorilla.
Okay, so you're gonna do a circle.
Yeah. And just try to like pile on as much as we can, like immediately pile on the gorilla. There's no other way.
So I saw this as well. You know, the people at the bottom of the pile would probably die.
100%.
Okay.
I'm leading this.
So you're saying you got to sacrifice those people.
Like any general, I'm in the safety of my, in distance. But yeah, pile on. There's no other way. If you have no tools, you have to use your numbers. You have to use your numbers at this point.
I've seen Planet of the Apes. I know who would win this.
But that's a genius gorilla that you're dealing with.
Okay.
Yeah. If you have a sentient gorilla, you are so screwed.
Okay, you're saying if it's sentient gorilla all day.
Sentient, or it has the same cognition level of a human being.
Okay.
Gorilla all day.
You're saying because it will convince them?
No, it would crush the first person's head, say, who's next? Can you imagine it talking? Making eye contact? I imagine the gorilla with a British accent. Yeah. Okay. If it was cognitively smart, or if it had like any human level cognition, dude, you have to run for your life quickly. You have to get out of there. Also, gorillas fart a lot.
All right. So what would be your number one animal that you would pick? Because this is another conversation. What's the number one animal you would pick where you'd say 100 men versus them with no tools on an equal playing field on a level surface would instantly kill 100 men?
Polar bear.
Polar bear. I've seen that.
Polar bear. Dude.
Did you see the guy this week at the resort that jumped on the back? He jumped on the back of a snowmobile and barely outran a polar bear.
I didn't see that.
Polar bear is like the largest, I believe, North American land animal.
Yeah, and they are ferocious. There's zero food. There's no, so they're already aggressive from the get go. Any meat source they see, they instinctively attack.
Yeah, I think it's like for a black bear, you're supposed to scare it. For a brown bear, you're supposed to play dead. For a polar bear, it's like you're dead either way, no matter what you do.
There's like grizzlies are scary enough. Mama bears are scary enough, but every polar bear, if it doesn't eat, it will die in that environment. 100 men, that's a buffet. That is a buffet for them.
I'd probably go something like an elephant. Like if there were 100 men with no tools, I just don't know how you'd take it down.
You couldn't. I mean, they use it in like ancient times as tanks.
Right, exactly. Or rip people's like arms off and stuff as punishment.
And they are as smart as humans. You've seen
cancer.
You've heard the not cancer.
Shout out if you don't get that, we pointed at the gorilla if you're watching from, or we pointed at the elephant if you're watching from home, and that's a callback from one of our.
You know the stories of the elephants that
you did it too. Ooh, he did it. He said the magic word.
We got the same mind.
Yeah,
we're quantumly linked. But the elephant that
in the room,
elephant in the room, me, my gut, but. It stomped out a lady, and then when they buried a lady, found a funeral site, and then stomped out the funeral site too. They're vindictive.
I'll tell you the other reason that I think a gorilla would win is primates. If you fight them, and you can look this up, go for your genitals and your eyes.
You're thinking of chimpanzees.
No, it's all of them. It's all of them.
Okay, yeah. You know what? I have seen monkeys pull off the.
That's what I'm saying.
Scalp, the hair, and the skin off.
Or like that lady when we were in high school got her face eaten off by a chimpanzee.
Yeah, dude, and they're even
and that's a chimp.
The smallest monkeys have so much tensile strength that it's not even fair. They have.
I believe perhaps you mean tactile. I believe tensile is a canvas.
No, tensile strength of.
Is it tensile or tactile? You sound off, chat. He's gonna look this up. All right. What is it? Is it tensile? Tensile. That's what I said.
But in relation to big balls.
But that's what I said.
Oh, yeah. No,
you said tactile.
No, I didn't say tactile. You said tactile.
Grade A gaslighting going on right now. All right. We're going to end it. Sound off in the chat. Gorilla versus 100 humans. If you're a team human, how many people would die? And what is your strategy? If you're a team gorilla,
sound off in the
shout
chat.
out.
But hey, you know who I can help? Who can help make a little nesting lodge for me? Michael.
Read, folks. Hey, it's Jimmy Burkholz, your resident dessert guru and Devour Desserts cheesecake box. It's my latest obsession. I've sampled every sweet under the sun, and these creamy cheesecakes are top tier. My gut's singing his praises. My taste buds are in love. Want the best dessert? Call Devour Desserts today for their cheesecake box. It's my latest obsession. We're going to go ahead and move into our other ad read and just keep this Freeform show going. Burjesh will have one later. Okay. After a devastating house fire, I was desperate to buy a home in Memphis. Time was running out, and I was overwhelmed by choices. Then I found Carson and Abby Cook at Keller Williams. They were my lifeline. They swooped in, they found me the perfect place, and turned my payments into equity overnight. I've been throwing away money at someone else's mortgage, but the Cooks showed me a way out. With their expertise, I took the leap of faith, and they caught me, landing me gently into a better life. From inspection to the final key, Cooks can point you in the right direction. Thank you, Air Horn, for the ad reads. All right, we're going to move into our next topic, oldie but a goodie, Luigi Mangione.
Here we go. Okay, so Luigi Mangione, whether you agree with him or not, I agree with him on, like, spiritually, but...
You agree with him on murder?
It's I agree on the sentiment, but I do not agree on killing somebody. But it did send a message. It sent a strong message.
I brought you murder.
Ooh. Judas. Oh. What about you? Do you agree with Luigi Mangione?
No. I mean, I don't think if you disagree with someone, you should have the right to kill them.
Yeah, and it's.
Don't flip to my side. You're about to flip to my side.
No. I
Okay,
I just wanted to put a couple things out there.
He
has multiple sex tapes.
I get why he did it.
I get why he did it. Let me talk about the character Luigi. Okay. Well, he was very not charismatic. What's the other word for somebody who's very
pensive?
Not pensive. This man's he was always looking for the spotlight.
Indubitably.
But I understood the message because. Come on, dude, your health insurance was about to start. You know, they were a week away from, what was it? If you're under surgery, they were going to start charging for anesthesia, and they were going to give you a certain amount, allocate a certain amount of time.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and they immediately took that off the table. Mm-hmm. And now to have AIs that are 90%, they're so good. They good, but they are able to deny multiple claims at a rapid speed. They're making the market
during this whole Luigi Mangione thing. We'll talk about the current event, but there were people who were tweeting how expensive McDonald's had gotten, and was like, "Wow, hope no one finds a McDonald's CEO."
Yeah,
as a joke on Twitter that I did not say.
Good. Yeah,
just so we're clear, we're just reading the facts.
We're just professional reporters. So that's all we're doing.
Luigi Mangione right now is claiming that he needs to get out of his trial, I believe in New York State, because he has a federal trial and he thinks that it's double jeopardy.
He could get out of it. Here's the thing. I don't agree with what he did, but I also would like him to see no punishment for it either.
I am all for due process, but this is an issue with due process where we all know he did it.
He's on camera. He led them on a little chase too. Left a bag in New York's Central Park with Monopoly money in it. Very Batman-esque villain.
On camera.
On camera.
That's how you said it. You were like, he's on camera. We caught him on camera.
He always knows where the camera's at. He's always smiling.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. On a side note, I can someone transformed him to a woman, and I can see why. Every woman is looking at him like a sex figure.
He's also exactly. He's also like Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy had a cult following of women. There's a lot of women who follow. Sorry to clear my throat. There's a lot of women that follow. Him for his looks and stuff, which is just very odd. They need to do a study on why women follow bad men that commit bad crimes. Do
you want to get into that? Just kind of a little side.
No, I do not want to get into that right now. I want to talk about Luigi Mangione. Yeah. And some people say it was justified. Some people don't. But, at the end of the day, he took away a dad. He took away a husband.
Yeah, you're right. It was even though the person that they killed, he did not, even in the media, he didn't get that great of a representation. No one really cared, but you're right. That's a father. That was a husband that you took away. And as a CEO, how much control do you really have on the day-to-day actions of, you have shareholders that you have to keep happy. So who's really to blame here? The CEO, the shareholders, the executives in his company?
on the flip side, you can't just say you're the CEO trying to increase stockholder equity, right?
When you're health insurance,
there has to be something where you realize, and I believe you can look it up, that the claims were double the amount denied from United Healthcare. What I saw reported on Twitter.
Yeah, it's
so
the
like
whole healthcare system's very.
If the denial rate was 10% for, like, say, Cigna or another company, the denial rate for this was double, like 20%. And those are not correct figures, but I'm just saying that's why.
Off the noggin.
And a lot of people were upset with United Healthcare before and after this happened because of it.
As a family member, as someone who has one of your
as a family member is a pre-existing condition.
Yeah, a pre-existing condition. You're paying every single month. You're paying a ridiculous amount in whatever healthcare insurance, like whatever it costs you, and then only to hear on top of that, when you need them the most, you're denied. And that denial, it's easy to say across the phone, but you don't know what the exact impacts have. Like you're multiple like I think that that's where they drew the line. Of course, you lost a dad, but how many other people have lost their lives because of like denials that you sent out?
Right, and like
what's the, like you. Even though you're not murdering them directly, it's still you're in concert with.
Like another example is if you have Medicare A and B and you do not sign up for either C or D, you could get a chemo pack that costs $75,000 per pack. You get 10 rounds of chemo, 5 rounds of chemo. You're in debt for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and
you've got that albatross around your neck.
And on top of that, with rising insurance, or not rising, just inflation in general. Rising cost of everything. It's just, it kind of feels like they want you to die.
But yeah, exactly. And it's out of whack when people start praising this guy. That's how you know the pendulum has swung too far. Yeah. And immediately after this, I believe they made some reforms in the healthcare industry.
Yeah, but are they going to last? Are they actually having a high impact? Have they done anything to save people?
Let's get back to the topic at hand. Do you think this is double jeopardy? Him getting tried for a New York State murder and a federal murder?
Maybe.
He could be tried civilly by the family.
Do you think he will be?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Why wouldn't he be? Why would you not do it?
Yeah. I mean, you lost your dad.
Even if you bankrupt the guy.
Yeah, that's okay. That's true.
And I believe he's like from an affluent family too that wants nothing to do with him at this point. Shocker.
Yeah, you kind of brought what is it? Not insult. What is it? What's the word?
Insult
shame.
To injury.
You brought shame to the Mangione bloodline and the Italian Mangione. Shame, son, shame.
All right, we're gonna move into our next topic. We're gonna talk about OnlyFans.
Ooh, my favorite.
Burjesh's biggest single expenditure per month.
It's not.
It's not true. If you're listening at home, mom and dad, it's not true. Don't check the credit card statements. Said nervously by Burjesh, feverishly closing tabs on his browser. So, for those of you who don't know, OnlyFans is a platform where creators can publish private content. Well, some people may not know.
Yeah.
And so, a lot of that has turned into pornography that's on there and whatnot. And I saw a shocking statistic that I wanted to bring up that 7% of women, 7 out of 100, in the age range of 18 to 29 are creators on OnlyFans. That does not mean that they're all publishing sexually explicit content.
Yeah.
It could mean that they're publishing stuff because there's a lot of people who are on there right now. Like I saw someone release a comedy special because they're getting paid more than YouTube to release it on there or on all the other streaming platforms.
Yeah, I've seen other like health content. There's content on there besides sexual explicit content. But when you hear the word OnlyFans, your mind immediately jumps to...
Yeah. Well, mine doesn't, but
he's a straight arrow.
What's that?
What's that? OnlyFans? That's what we're going to start publishing soon.
No, we will not.
Why not?
I will not be on there.
You said.
I will not be contributing to that. I'm not. Look, so here's a question. Tim Dillon has a show on Netflix where a girl comes on there and she's making 6 figures a month doing OnlyFans. But
which is ridiculous.
Her brother is saying it's ruining her family's reputation and everything.
Yeah.
So do you support them chasing the bag, or do you support the ethics of it, or you believe it's unethical to do?
So for me personally, if I'm just standing on the outside and it's not my family member, which is easier to judge, I would say, yeah, go for the bag, do what you have to do. But then it's like, oh, it's your little sister.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And then it's like...
Or like people are bullying their Like the kids are getting bullied of the mothers that are publishing on OnlyFans at school, and people discover it. Moms are pulling up at the car line with their OnlyFans name on the back of their car.
Yeah, it's tragic for the kids. So on that end, I don't support it when it comes to, because it's like, of course you're getting the bag, but at the price.
Let's get down to business. What is the number you would support it at? Everyone's got a number.
I wouldn't. I honestly wouldn't.
$1 billion, you wouldn't support it.
I have character. I have morals and principles. Okay. That's my rudder, my North Star.
All right.
I can't sell out for $1. Money's fictitious, anyways.
We'll move on to another ethical topic talking about.
Let's finish because it's spicy.
Go on.
Okay. Well, 18 to 29. It's crazy to see. Do you think this is a sign of our economic turmoil that we're in because there are not any job opportunities?
Well, I actually saw that a lot of them are struggling to make money right now. With
come on. If everyone's throwing it out there.
Right, because there's less excess cash in the system and whatnot. So even they're hurting. It's kind of like they have something called the strip club index for Wall Street. Like when Wall Street people stop going to strip clubs, the market's in a downturn or it's about to take a downturn.
Yeah, and then you also have so much content, like so much free content.
So it's kind of like the OnlyFans context or what's it called? What I just said. I can't think of it.
Let me know if
OnlyFans index.
Keep this in.
All right, we're gonna move on to our next ad read.
Here we go.
Rajesh over there is gonna hit it with us. Have you been thinking about anything? Do you know where your final resting place will be?
But I'm going to tell you, can help you if you have been thinking about it. Call WCWS Law Firm today. Our expert attorneys are here to make the process smooth and stress-free with services like settling estates, managing wills, resolving disputes, handling trusts, and guiding you through every legal detail. Based right here in the heart of Memphis, we're your local probate pros. Reach us at 901-523-1844 or visit WCWSlaw.com now. Thank you for sponsoring us.
All right, we're going to move into our next topic, which is White Lotus. One of the most popular shows that was out. They've already finished the 4th season.
I need to watch them.
Filmed the 5th season. Maybe we'll review it if you get around to watching it.
Lucky Lotus, White Lotus.
Come on.
A pyramid in heaven.
Somebody, you have no idea how many times people are like, are you guys a White Lotus review podcast? I was like, even if we did one episode, at episode 28, what would we do? Wait for the next season?
Yeah. We could. If
we'd be if talking to a guys.
Yeah. Talking to if that pod blows up, then maybe that's what we're going to become. We'll morph into the White Lotus review. Yeah.
We'll have to review. We'll do like one review per episode when season 5 comes out.
Say less.
If we're still doing this thing.
Oh, we will.
Because of how successful
we're already on episode 10. So that's 90. We're doing better than 90% about the podcast.
We've hit 200,000 views across all social media combined.
Good job.
Hey, shout out.
Biggest thing is
fist bump.
Biggest thing is this guy shows up every single week.
Air horn.
And having somebody who actually cares makes a big difference. Makes things a lot easier.
About Amy Lou on White Lotus. She was recently bullied on an SNL sketch for her appearance. She's also in the Netflix show Sex Education. So she is British.
Yeah.
She has British teeth. She has a very prominent upper teeth.
Yeah.
So she has a very unique accent and face.
Yeah, so I guess that's easy. I guess SNL, the pendulum has swung there, so I guess...
Right, but it's getting to the point where they're like, can you make fun of this? Should you have made fun of it? Are you affecting your mental health? What do you think about that? You think anything's game?
I think so. Of course, there's no standards left in media these days.
Well, I think it's very similar to the OnlyFans thing, right? It's fine until it's your sister or your mom.
Yeah, you're right.
Your brother.
It's a lot easier for me to say, anything's fair game, but... What's the person behind? What are they going through? What are they experiencing?
I'll tell you what I'm going to say is, which I will never feel bad for someone that's rich and famous.
Until it's your
more money, more problems. I'd love to have that problem.
I would.
There's 80% of Americans would kill to be rich, famous, and have rich and famous problems.
You're right. Okay, so you're already. Come on. You're already making.
Don't code switch on me. Don't come to my side. Stay over there.
Let me play devil's advocate. Actually, it's kind of hard to you, right? If you're rich.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
How old is she?
I believe she is 20 to 30, age-wise.
20 to 30. Okay.
20 to 30. Why are you looking at me like that's an alien sentence?
That's a big... Because, if you're closer to 20, you're just a kid still. But it doesn't matter. You made it. You made it big. You can always get surgery to fix your teeth. Do whatever you have to do. Get inline braces. Get Invisalign.
But should she? Why should she?
If she wants to, at the end of the day, you're
Just roll with Jules never fixed her teeth.
You're an autonomous human being. You do whatever makes you happy. If you want to start OnlyFans after White Lotus, do that. You're right.
That's true. Very true. The girl who plays Christopher Moltisanti's girlfriend in Sopranos started OnlyFans, and she's made more money from OnlyFans than she did ever being on The Sopranos, is what she said.
But you're selling your soul. I mean, okay, for us, the viewer, okay, that's great. I love that. But if you have kids, get ready to get bullied. Excuse me. That's what I'm. I don't know if I could ever do that to my kids. I don't know if I could ever do that to my kids.
Or could you see them that next Christmas?
Because that's rife for, you already have a mental health epidemic. I don't know if it's true or not, but you already have.
There's a mental health epidemic in America.
And how does that help if your mom is showing herself on the internet? And you know how mean kids are in middle school and high school.
You want to talk about mean kids? Yeah. Let's talk about Shidor Sanders, a topic I know you know nothing about.
Hit me. I'm ready.
Deion Sanders has a son.
Yeah.
Shidor Sanders, star quarterback for Colorado.
Okay.
He was supposed to go in the first round of the draft. While he was sliding in the draft, he did not go in the first round. He did not go in the second round. He did not go in the third round. I believe he went in the fifth round of the draft. Okay. So he slid, and one of the people who was one of the sons of one of the coaches for the Falcons prank called him as the GM for a different team, the New Orleans Saints, and said, "Hey, this is Mickey Loomis. Sorry you had to wait so long to be drafted." And he goes, "Man, I'm just so glad you called. I didn't know when I was going to get drafted," or something like that. And the guy goes, "We're going to have to wait a little bit longer," and prank called him and hung up while he's in the middle of getting drafted.
Dude, that is...
The Falcons have already been fined $200,000 for them releasing this guy's number in the middle of the draft.
Yeah.
And the dad of the kid who did it got fined $100,000. And there's a video of him and his roommate at Ole Miss prank calling Shidor Sanders in the middle of the draft.
Okay, yeah, fine him.
Imagine you having to sit down with your dad at a dinner table and he got fined $100,000 due to your actions from an employer.
No matter how old you are, I'm beating your ass.
Right, exactly. So he's in Atlanta because he's for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
The kid had an Ole Miss shirt, so you have to believe that he's at Ole Miss. You better believe if I'm that dad, I'm driving straight to Ole Miss.
Yeah,
and someone's leaving there with a red ass. That's what my dad would always say if we were acting up in a store. He was like, "We're going into this grocery store. We're getting bread and milk. If you ask me for anything else, you're leaving here with a red ass."
Okay, let me take his side real quickly. That is a funny prank.
Yes, it is.
That is a funny prank.
It is funny, and now people are acting like people on social media are acting like it's the worst thing that's ever happened to someone ever.
Yeah, I can see college kids, high school kids. That's a good prank. That's a good level. If you got access to it, why not? You can tell. That's a good story to tell all your friends for a long time to come.
Let me tell you what also makes the situation so much worse. What? Had he known he was not going to go in the first or second round, he probably would not have entered the draft. Had he not entered the draft and he would have gone to another NIL college football team, he probably would have stood to make between $4 and $8 million a year.
Okay, yeah.
And now he's making, I think, less than $500,000 a year in the NFL. He has to play in the NFL. Same thing happened to Quinn Ewers that plays for Texas.
Yeah.
If he would have gone to a different school, he would have made $8 million, and now he's making $800,000.
Okay, explain that whole thing to me again.
Okay, for the NIL, you get pay to play. If I want to go play for the Tennessee Vols, if I want to go play for the Arkansas Razorbacks, if I want to go play for the Cal Bruins, or excuse me, the UCLA Bruins, you get paid more to stay in college now unless you're like a first round high 1 through 15 draft pick.
Okay.
Okay. So you have a choice. Do you want to chase the money in college and not go pro? Or do you want to go pro and hope that you get drafted in the top 15?
Gotcha. And so you're saying, oh my God, he missed out.
So he gave up the trade-off costs of probably close to at least $4 million, not including endorsements that private people will give you, like Jimmy's Car Lot, Burgess's Restaurant.
Yeah. Imagine my dad.
Oh, yeah.
Sponsors.
NIL deal?
Yeah.
For those Memphis Tigers. If you need an NIL deal, hit up Burgess on OnlyFans.
Okay, yeah, that sucks. That sucks.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. So one of the other things that's going on with it is just everyone on social media. So the question is it funny or is it not funny?
It's funny.
Are you going to tell me it all depends?
I mean, it does.
If it's my son, I'm going to be pissed.
But it is funny. It really sucks at the level that it happened at. And of course, I mean, it's a very important day for anybody. Your whole life, you've been waiting to get drafted to go play in the NFL. Like that's to be in that mindset your entire, like you don't just start playing football, like since 10 years old, you're ready to go play. And then someone does that to you. That sucks. That really sucks. But the flip side, that's a good story. That's a really good story to tell at a bar somewhere.
So what I will tell you is that if you don't want to feel bad for this guy, 2 reasons you shouldn't feel bad for him is he told select teams that he would not go to that team if they drafted him. And so like 2 years ago, he said, I'm not going to the Cleveland Browns if they draft me. And he got drafted by the Cleveland Browns in the 5th round.
Kids say crazy things.
What about this? One of the top 17 teams that was going to draft him gave him a playbook and said, study this playbook. We're going to interview you. He showed up to the interview and they said, did you review the playbook? And he goes, no, I want to talk about the coach's leadership per an NFL source on Twitter.
Okay, never mind. I don't know.
All right.
It's,
Burjesh is out on this guy.
Yeah, I'm confused. Okay, it's a good joke.
All right,
Yeah,
there we go. All right, we're going to move on to another football topic. We're going to talk about Bill Belichick's girlfriend.
And how old is she?
You put me on the spot. I'll look it up. Keep talking.
20 to 30.
Yeah, 20 to 30. I got to look it
Probably
up.
closer to 20. But yeah, it's, I mean, a tale as old as time, rich old man. You got to get a sweet old thing. I don't know if you should keep that in.
Okay, Bill Belichick is 73.
Oh.
His girlfriend is... This is the age gap.
Hit me.
They have a 48-year age gap, so 73 minus 48.
Okay.
Don't look at me. You're my quant.
Hey, listen, she knows what she's doing.
What's 73 minus 48? We're going to figure this out. I believe 22.
Okay, there we go. We'll
Right?
go with that. No, I think 23.
No, that's wrong.
20.
Oh, man.
my-
Someone in the car knows this math.
Okay, yeah.
We got to figure no,
why
we're not
it-
moving on until we do this
Okay.
math.
How old?
Just a go. He's not doing the math.
I don't know why my brain's.
So 72 minus 40
I'll tell you right now. This is all in my head.
is
How old is Bill Belichick's
33
girlfriend?
minus 8.
I got it. Don't worry.
I think, right?
24.
24. That's what I said.
Yeah, that's what
I
we
said.
Okay, so 24 and he's 73.
Math.
Come on. She knows what she's doing. It's, she has no,
What if they're in love?
probably, yeah.
There's
100%.
a big theory online that she may be an escort or a dominatrix, allegedly.
Easy to love there.
And there's
Great connection.
there's another theory too that this may be like elder abuse, and people are saying like, what if Bill Belichick signed a will? What if he's in a conservatorship like Britney Spears?
I 100% doubt it. So doubt it.
But they have emails from internal UNC like emails that's
Yeah.
like, hey Bill, we want to talk to you about social media. He's like, yeah, you need to talk to Jordan.
Okay, well.
Or they had a 60 Minutes interview.
Wait, how's it? Okay.
Excuse me, Good Morning America. They
So
had an
you're
interview.
saying he's in a conservatorship and she's like the one in charge of him?
Right.
How's that even possible?
I mean, if he signed the paperwork.
That's why the dominatrix angle.
Right,
Makes
exactly.
sense. Yeah. Maybe he's into that. Dude, you're 73. You're about to die. No, hopefully not. Knock on wood.
But you didn't see the interview?
I didn't see the interview.
So they're doing an interview with someone that's like, I believe on ABC, and it's supposed to be for like Good Morning America or like whatever Sunday morning news is.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the interview, they're like, so how'd y'all meet? And she's like, we're not talking about this, like in the background with the producers. And then she like stormed off the set for 30 minutes.
Well, I mean, it's still, she knows it's weird. She's after the money. That's what it seems like. No, how many stories have you heard about billionaires with 20-some-year-old girls that they go around with?
Too many to name.
Too many to name, and the girls are always like, I love him.
Holla,
His
we want
personality is
prenup.
amazing.
We want prenup. Yeah.
Now,
Something that you need to
if he
have.
doesn't sign a prenup, they do get married. That is love.
Okay.
That is love. But if a prenup gets put in there,
What if he mysteriously dies in a Brooklyn jail? He suicides himself.
on suicide watch,
You're really
strangled
getting
neck.
cracked up over there.
Dude, it's still, I mean, call back to Epstein, but
I feel like you're really unraveling from all these sports topics. You can,
Yeah.
well, the last one is also a sports topic.
that's fine, dude. Hit me. You know what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do, chat, I'm going to spend the next week just looking at sports, all sports, any
right.
kind of sport.
So at PNC Field, Pittsburgh Pirates Park, they had a fan go for, I believe, a ball that was hit, like a fly ball.
Yeah.
And he fell about 20 feet and was in critical condition.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh.
He doesn't see the video chat.
Okay, that sucks.
I gotta look up the video. But yeah, he went over the rail and like it'd be like falling off the terrace at the FedEx Forum where we are for the Grizzlies.
Okay, so let me Vancouver Grizzlies. Call back. Not call back. Shot or I don't even know. But sports are that's is not my area of expertise. Okay, so falls off. That sucks. Did he survive? I hope so.
Yeah, he's as far as I know, as of right now, when we are filming this, he has survived. So let me.
Is he suing
hold
them?
on, wait. I'm going to show you the video. No, because he went over the guardrail, so that's on him. And then you also like. If you go to a golfing event or a baseball event, you have to be aware. If you're on third base, you could take a line drive to the face.
Yeah.
Or like if you're golfing, you have to sign like on the back of all your golf tickets, it says, "Hey, we are not responsible if you get hit by a ball." It's kind of like an inherent vice of doing it.
Yeah.
Chocolate melts.
Doing it for the game, dude. Love it a game.
All right, here you go.
He's got a story to tell that I won't forget.
Brajesh is watching the
go.
video.
Watching the video. B-roll. Okay, taking a knee. Nice.
Yeah, because the guy's already down. That's why they take a knee.
Okay,
You ever been in
here we
sports
go.
where someone gets hurt and they're like,
Oh my
take a
God.
knee."
Oh my God.
Yeah. The guy fell like on his back, like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, he did like 3 flips.
Yeah, it was not good.
No, not at all.
So that's what's going on in the wild world of sports this week.
Yeah.
Who do you think? I mean, surely this person should be okay unless they had like a brainstem injury or like a spinal cord
depends
injury.
on how you land. I mean, landing. What was that? We were talking about concrete and water.
Yeah, if you land in water, I believe it's more dangerous at a certain height than concrete.
I bet he wished he
G-forces.
landed in some water right there. God, but for sure you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have problems. There's no way what the rehab's gonna be like. You're the laughing stock of the baseball game now.
Apparently, the Pittsburgh Pirates are devastated by the fall during winning in a late inning rally. So they still played the game after this, just so we're clear.
Yeah, I mean that's good. They have a good PR team.
All right, he is hospitalized and he fell over 21 feet.
Okay.
This is the update from 9 a.m. Let's see. I am assuming he's alive. So he fell over the Roberto Clemente wall. Roberto Clemente, you may remember from that tragic disaster.
Yeah,
you have no idea. Who
I
that
remember.
is.
So here's my follow up question: how would you want to land in a fall like that? Would you want to land on your legs, head first?
I don't know. I just went a while where I couldn't use one of my hands, and before that I was like, if I like got my arm cut off, I'd be fine with like a bionic hand. And then my hand like didn't work, and it was when I had bandages on it, and I was like, man, this would suck. But like for sure, if I fell, I would want to break an arm than a leg.
Yeah,
because if you break a leg and you got to go to the bathroom or you got to shower or you live on a 2-story or 3-story house with a master bedrooms upstairs, that would suck.
Okay, would you want a bionic arm or a bionic leg?
For sure, a bionic arm.
Yeah,
for what I just said.
We live in a crazy time. We could be
one appendage: left arm, left leg, right leg. Which one's got to go?
Definitely my left side.
Would you rather have no legs or no arms?
No legs.
For sure?
For sure.
You look like a little guy getting around on a skateboard. You already got that vibe.
Put me on a little board. I'm just crawling around. I would, dude, having no arms would suck.
The fan? Okay. This is from the Daily Mail. It said, during the fall, we couldn't help but notice that the fan apparently was shirtless and was tended to by medical personnel who rushed the field. So shirtless, falling over a rail. Hopefully you got your money's worth for that ticket.
Sounds like. I hope he did get his money's worth. He's got a story to tell. For a while, yeah. Sit around the bar with the guy from Ole Miss. It's like, oh, you did something with sports. I did something with sports too.
Prank called Shidor Sanders.
Yeah.
This is the Pittsburgh Pirates fan. All right. So this has been our Freeform episode. We hope you guys like the format. We will try this out again. Sound off in the chat if you like it or not. You can find us on X, Instagram, TikTok,
Facebook, Apple, Spotify, just about anywhere you can get a podcast. We're missing something.
YouTube,
TikTok. You already said that, right?
ring that bell.
Hit that notification.
X.
Yes, X. Patreon, OnlyFans.
No, we are not on OnlyFans. All right, everyone. Thanks for having a good week. Thanks for tuning in with us. We appreciate your viewership. And like, subscribe, comment.
Yeah. Y'all have a great night. Bye. That was, yeah.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, it was good.